This is practice 16. How do you feel like? What are you seeing? You've seen it? Is it crisp? Is it are the guys dead legs?
We got a little of the camp legs going on. I didn't think it was awful today. Just a lot of those situations that we're putting them in. But there's definitely some bumps, some bruises. Some guys are, dog days at camp. Got a couple more here before we really dive into Purdue. So, I mean, I do feel good about the work. We got a bunch of details still to tighten up on really both sides on the special teams, let alone obviously a depth chart and where that moves. But guys, I feel good, and I'm still going to take advantage of the next week and a half. I'll say
how's this camp been better than the last three? Has there been any aspect
I think it's
of it?
been pretty competitive. I think guys have been taking care of each other. Like, we're going full speed, but when it's not live tempo, they've done good in regards to that. I think it's been competitive in a lot of different positions, which, you have it at each camp, but this feels like it's just with our depth and experience, feels more competitive.
Might as well get to the quarterback. What's going on with that?
We talked about Tristan giving him a couple days to try to get that thing and feeling better, and still has yet to do it in regards to feeling like he can go full speed. He's getting a little light work, but really taking that day to day. But I mean, he hasn't. He's not ready for prime time, and so we got to continue to work those other guys.
Where in your mind are you going to make it? When do you think you'll make a decision on who starts against Purdue?
Yeah, I just don't want to lock myself in. Chance has done some really good things the last couple of days and gotten himself really in the thick of that conversation. Still like both Sams, so yeah, we're going to watch this tape and then practice again tomorrow.
I guess what I was getting to, you've never gone into game week without a guy.
With letting people know.
Do you think
I'm not trying to play games. I'm really
not.
No.
Do you think you might go into game week not knowing fully who's the one?
I mean, maybe. But I do. I like the reps, and the guy knows that he's going to play, and he can prepare that way. And so, but I'm not going to, like I say, lock myself in anything certain.
How did you feel about the situational stuff today? Did you feel like it was?
I thought it was good putting him out there. I mean, there's some things to learn from. I like both sides. Ball carrier, receiver got the ball in his hands, offense trying to get out of bounds, and defense is tackling him, cutting him off, and trying to keep him in there.
Yeah.
I thought the management of the play clock was great. We didn't have a bunch of snaps too early and the ball getting snapped and using the clock, so liked it.
Is that kind of a fine line there in wanting to practice tackling, but trying to make sure guys aren't getting hurt too?
No question. Yeah, I mean, that's the balancing act. You want to have them prepared, but you want to have them as healthy as possible. And so, and again, that's why I go back to these guys doing a good job when we're not live tackling, taking care of each other and staying off the ground and that. But we got some live reps on the goal line today. I mean, you put the ball down on the 2, you're going to have bodies on the ground, and we went live, and that was awesome.
What's the biggest difference going from week 2 to 3 as far as what you're looking for?
Yeah, after week 2, the majority of the install base stuff is in. A lot of week 3 is these situations we're talking about into the game and 2-point plays and those kind of things. So it's a little bit different, but you're still repping the base stuff to tighten up the details.
You've had a couple of days to digest the film from the scrimmage now. Is there anything that stood out besides the obvious, pick 6?
Yeah, that was a great play by Ray. I did think we executed better offensively. Still tackling was solid. Had a couple of young guys in special teams show up in a big way. Easton, Skyler, that still stands out.
Tegan did a little bit more today.
Yeah.
Do you think like next week he might be able to
That's what we're shooting for.
Cut loose?
Yep, we're shooting for a week of practice with the guy. He's moving around well. And so whether he does a little bit more tomorrow, but then the weekend get some more reps and have a full week of practice.
And then Robinson, did you, what
he had another MRI today. I haven't heard the results on that, but I don't see that being a short-term thing.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on early thoughts, I guess, on Pac-12 collaborating with other conferences?
Yeah, big picture, I think there's a lot of positives to that. It's been, since I've been here in regards to leadership, those guys are some smart guys making decisions. And so I think it's a really good thing.
The receiver room, is there, where do you stand on that right now? Is there a couple of guys that have kind of separated themselves?
I mean, Bradford can play every down. I mean, they play a bunch of positions. Bradford's up there. I think Jason still is a guy that we can count on in a big way. But you look at Trayshawn and Tyjon's had a great camp.
Yes.
Micaiah Tongue and what he brings to the table physically. Irish moving back to wideout, and he can take the top off the coverage. I mean, so you got a lot of guys we trust.
Gould and Fleming's have both been good too.
Yeah, and had a couple great catches today. So, and Silas can get the deep ball, and the guy's a tough kid. And so we got some options there.
That seems like the one position that's going to go right up to game time.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, and you're going to see them rotate through. I mean, first down you got 3 of them out there, and second down you might have another 3.
Yeah.
Because they've earned some playing time.
The one defense is starting to look like it's pretty settled.
You know, yeah, I think on that back end, especially with EJ and Jaden now, those guys have been running together for a while. Linebacker wise, you know, those guys have been running together. That D line, I can see some rotation happening, but and you know, we got some guys on the twos that can play with the wings. Like Coletto, what he's doing at inside linebacker, he's easily a 1 in most cases.
Does the game day, the Purdue preparation start Saturday, or are you mixing
Saturday.
a little bit?
We've touched some stuff like, hey, this is similar to what Purdue does, but Saturday's the start day.
As far as the strength and development of that receiver room, going up against such a strong unit in the secondary?
Yeah, I think it's made them better on both sides. The competition, that's why I go back to this in practice, from 1-on-1, 7-on-7, those guys going against good on good all the time, has made both groups play at a higher level.
And you said earlier that Chance has kind of worked his way into kind of that quarterback conversation. It looked today like he played really well.
Yeah.
What kind of confidence have you seen him kind of maybe gain throughout this fall?
Yeah, I think he have a little success, and he's really comfortable. The year in the system from last year. That's why I go back to this approach, like the body of work, not just kind of going day by day and no, this is the guy I'm predetermining. Because you look at now the body of work the last week the guy's done, it's been pretty good.
What have you liked out of what he's done specifically?
Oh, ball coming off his hand, the decisions he's making, managing the offense, he's checking protections, he's creating outside the pocket and not making errors that turn the ball over.
Back to the receivers, obviously there's the catching part of it, but the blocking aspect, is there 1 or 2 guys that are on the field partially because of the way they're able to block?
Well, we ask them all to do it.
Sure,
but Tyjon has not ever shied away, and he's good. I know he's undersized. Micaiah brings some physicality to the position in blocking those 2 guys.
Yeah.
How about the first O-line versus the first D-line? How have you seen that play out?
Then good competition. I think our first group O-line wise is pretty solid. But, you know, even on the D-line side, Tomasillo's been a great addition. Obviously still waiting for Keon to get himself back. He's getting closer to doing that, with Sione coming back as well, hopefully next week. But Cody and Simon, those guys have made it competitive.